Hi everyone, I'm Athena Ali here, the Get Noticed coach, career strategist and government job application specialist. Welcome to my live broadcast today on format and structure versus content for your six-figure public service resume. Now, before I start today, I'd like to do an acknowledgement to country. In the spirit of reconciliation, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. And I'd like to pay respect to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today. Thank you and welcome. Now, in this weekly live, let's look at the importance of the format and structure versus the content for your resume. Which is more important, why, and how you can achieve both and secure an interview. Okay, now if you're here live, say hi in the comments below, and if you're watching the replay, please use hashtag replay in the comments. You can also view this on my YouTube channel. If for some reason you lose connection on LinkedIn or you prefer YouTube, I'll add a link down below at the end of the comments if you'd like to subscribe to my channel as well. Now let's talk about content versus the format and the structure of your resume. So which one is the most important? Well, arguably, I guess in considering this, there are two things recruiters and hiring managers care about when they're scanning resumes. Okay, and that is one, that it's easy for them to find what they're looking for, and two, when they do find what they're looking for, they want it to wow them, because when you wow them, you're making it really easy for them to find somebody. Because the one thing recruitment managers and hiring managers, it's their job to look for the perfect candidate, and the easier you can make that for them, the more likely they're going to want to interview you over somebody else. Now, arguably, I'd say content is the most important thing about your resume, because without relevant content, you won't get selected for an interview. So content really needs to be relevant. So it needs to be tailored to the job, to the organization. It needs to show how your values and theirs match. And it also, when you're looking at senior level roles, you also need to continue and make your branding consistent through your resume. Your content also needs to be recent. I still see a lot of resumes of people who are going for senior positions who are giving information in their resumes that's quite old. And particularly when you're a professional in your field and perhaps you're licensed to do your job, for example, if you're a doctor or a nurse or anything like that, it's already assumed you've done all that training. And so you don't need to put all those old things in your resume. It's assumed that if you have that certification, that license or that qualification, that you've done all the groundwork. So you don't need to put that in your resume. It also then becomes irrelevant, because when you're going for a more senior role, it's not about the training you did, it's about how you can lead an organization. So that sort of training really isn't relevant to your current role. Content needs to also be succinct. Okay, it needs to be short and punchy, and we need not to see really, really long bullet points. Bullet points need to be just that, short, sharp, and to the point. Content also needs to be accomplishment or achievement based, so that they can see what you have achieved previously in your other roles and how that can fit in with them and what they're looking to achieve. And to do that, you need to use power words to describe the outcomes you achieved, or what we call action verbs, okay? And they are really short words that pack a punch and really tell us what you did when you achieved something, okay? And you also need to use metrics around your achievement or accomplishment statements, so that we can see the difference that you made when you started a particular project or achievement, and how it ended up. Okay, so content really needs to speak to the recruiter by being relevant, recent, succinct, and really achievement based with metrics to prove how good you are at what you do. Okay, and now looking at the format and structure, format and structure is also important. Okay, it needs to be plain and simple. There's no need for lots of text boxes and graphic elements if they detract from the relevant content. Okay, so if you've got lots of, one big text box on the left hand side detracting from the content in the right text box, it's really not great. It's better just to have the one big section with what you want to say in it rather than have too many things that I have to look at and search and then have to search for your content. Remember, you're trying to make it easy for me to decide whether to bring you in or not. Okay, so basically what you need to do is to make it as easy as possible for me to find what I'm looking for, and your format and your structure needs to be able to lead me to the content you want me to see now. Okay, and it needs to be what I want to see. Okay, so fancy text boxes and graphics and colors are not important unless they're leading me to the content that you want me to see. Okay, and you often hear that recruiters only have about 6 seconds or so before they get distracted and start looking at other resumes. So you want to be able to make that impact really quickly with your format and structure. So in conclusion, both are actually important. Your format and structure and your content are important, because there's no point in having great content that I can't find because your format and structure doesn't lead me to it. But there's also no point in having a pretty format and structure only for me to find content that doesn't answer my question or put you in a position where I'm excited to see you for an interview. Okay, so make sure both complement each other and make your resume stand out. Now, that's the end of my live today, and I hope you found that really helpful. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the specifics on how to design a really powerful resume, then I would like to invite you to my free training next week, next Thursday, the 17th at 7 p.m. AEDT, on design a powerful resume and get shortlisted for your dream 6-figure public service job. Comment yes below and I'll send you the link to register for the event. You have to register for that event in order to gain access on the evening or to get the replay. If you don't do that, you won't get access to it. So I'd really love to see you there. Just comment yes below or DM me, and I'll be able to send you the link so that you can directly register for that, and we can go through how you can design your own powerful resume and get shortlisted for that 6-figure public service role that you're eyeing off. Now, have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.